just in, hashtag end bad governance, protesters demand sack of the police IGP. Yeah, that is Inspector General of Police Kayode Egbetokun. The protesters are now saying that he should be sacked. The way I see it is that even the IGP was working on the instruction of the Chief of Defense Staff and instruction of the presidency. That's the way I see it. If you look at the IGP, you will see that he is not working on his own order. So sacking him is, even when he speaks, you even though he tends to claim responsibility for certain actions, you know that he's being pushed from behind. So sacking him, I don't think it will solve the Nigerian problem, because sacking him is also not going to address the root cause of the protest. It's also not going to address the root cause of introduction of violence into the protest. It was after President had the meeting with the security chiefs, including the IGP, that all this problem started. So this must be a problem that started from the presidency. That is it. So because it didn't end there, even the military too are not to be trusted. So this is a serious one. But again, let's go through the demands of the protesters. Organizers of the hashtag End Bad Governance protest have called for the dismissal of the Inspector General of Police IGP Kayode Egbetokun over the killing of some demonstrators by security personnel. The protesters made the demand during a candlelight symposium held in honor of the victims at the Wright House in Ikeja. Wright House in Ikeja, Lagos State on Friday. So a member of the committee and national spokesperson of the Youth Right Campaign, Comrade Hassan Taiwo, at the candlelight emphasized the urgency of sacking the Inspector General of Police. Taiwo hinged the call on the alleged killing of more than 40 people during the nationwide protest to end hunger and hardship. We are demanding the sacking of the Inspector General of Police, he asserted. The candlelight procession was also expected to commence at Alausa after the symposium. So leadership recalls that the organizing committee of the protest had at the Gani Fawemi Freedom Park in Ojota, Lagos, declared 3 days of mourning in honor of those that were, deleted during the ongoing hashtag End Bad Governance protest. So the hunger strike, which was intended to last for 10 days, is now on its 9th day on Friday. Leadership also reported that Amnesty International accused the Nigerian government or Nigerian security forces of killing at least 21 protesters during the week of demonstrations against economic hardship, and that was bad. So with all that has happened, I know it's on record, both the military chiefs, the government of Tinubu, and the IGP in particular are responsible for as many as lost their lives during this protest. There wouldn't have been violence if not that the government introduced the police onto the street and gave them certain mandate to stop people from protesting, even determining where they should gather and determining how they should gather. You don't fight and be saying sorry while you're fighting. It was not a jamboree, it was not a carnival. It was a protest to register grievances. So it can never be a friendly move. And because of fear of the outcome, the government decided to put in the military, and even there are allegations that the government sponsored some thugs to counter the protest, and some stupid Nigerian youths whose lives are not even better off agreed to be used by government to counter the protest. Quite unfortunate. Very, very, very unfortunate, especially in Abuja and then in the southwestern part of Nigeria, especially Lagos, and even in Delta State, where I learned it happened in Warri too. And even somebody like Asai Dokubo was blasting that nobody should come out for protest. But when they came out, he ran away. He could not even come out to defend his statement again. So now that police or over enthusiastic police have gone ahead now to delete over 40 people during the protest, the organizers of the protest have called for the sack of Egbetokun. For where they call for sack of Wike, Tinubu did not do it. The sack of Egbetokun, Tinubu will not do it. The INEC chairman is there. Tinubu did not sack him. Tinubu will not sack such people because they are working on his dictates. They are working to what he wants. That is it. So he can never sack such people. I'm pretty sure of that. And now people have reacted to this call for sack of the IGP. Somebody is saying Tinubu will never sack him because he is fighting against those protesting against his bad government. Just like asking Tinubu to sack Mahmoud Yakubu of INEC is impossible because they made him what he is today. Worst president ever in Nigeria history. Please resign honorably and leave the exit door. Now, wow. And another is asking why. Because part of your protesters utilized the opportunity to loot, steal, destroy, burn government properties and bomb blasted certain areas in the north and got shot and some killed for their actions. Remember, you signed a bond of legitimacy and riot crime-free protest. There's somebody now speaking for the government, I see. We quite agree that, violence was not allowed. People, we saw somebody, one of the northern youth, climbing a traffic light and damaging traffic light. That is not where the problem is, because government spent taxpayers' money to fix those things. So any damage on public facility is a crime against the public. It's a crime against taxpayers whose money was used to fix those facilities or install those facilities. So any protest, if you're a taxpayer and you know that if you are destroying government facility, you are destroying a project that was done with your own tax money, you will not destroy those properties. Destroying properties is not the best way to protest, we quite agree. But at the same time, look at how civil police is in the developed world. When will our own police be civil ever in the history of Nigeria? You quietly and openly face a gun with life ammunition in it on a protester who is not carrying gun, and you think it will be okay. The problem I have is that rather than investigating all these killings, they will definitely go ahead and deny it. The same way IGP Egbetokun is denying raiding NLC office at Abuja. Meanwhile, NLC has proof that it was done. And they lied that there was a criminal investigation that required them to go and raid a store, and it happened to be around NLC office. How can you say that? So our police force is absolutely unprofessional on the street, and that is very bad. And how can they be? How can they be? The IGP, how did he get there? Through favoritism. If you go and check, it's not by merit. So, and what do they do when they get there? It's turn by turn, which is very bad. Very, very bad. And another person saying here, why should IGP be sacked? Why not your state governor? Can you imagine? So why will it be state governor that should be sacked? Moreover, state governor, was he appointed? The only people that can sack the state governor is the people that voted him, that will say, okay, they don't want him again. That is it. But will that ever happen in the history of Nigeria? It will never happen. I'm pretty sure of that. It will never happen. So that is what is happening. IGP Egbetokun, the protesters have called for his sack, but I know he will not go anywhere. Tinubu will never sack him. So thank you for listening, and let's have your comment on this call for sack.